Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia. I'm a wedding photographer at Lydia Rachel Photography and your host. Today is a very special vendor episode. I'm chatting to the lovely Kate Solley. She is an incredible makeup artist. You may know her from online, or you may have even been to one of her makeup workshops. I did, and they are so incredible. I learnt a lot. Kate has been in the industry for 18 years, and she's incredible at what she does. And if you've met her, you know she is just the most lovely, warm presence, exactly what you want for somebody doing your makeup, and she's just super talented at what she does as well. We talk about how she got started and what led her to where she is today, the many years she worked for MAC and trained other makeup artists. We talk about how she works, what she recommends in the lead up to your wedding in terms of skin prep, and it's much simpler than you think. Why it's great to have a makeup trial and when to do that. Her tips for making your makeup last on your wedding day, and what to look for when you're trying to find your makeup artist. We talk about the incredible workshops she runs, which you can book her to come to your house with a group of friends, or you can join one of her public workshops where it's very hands-on. You get to follow Kate's guidance, and I promise you'll be shocked how good you did your own makeup by the end of it. We also talk about the Masters class, an incredible collaboration between Kate and 3 other amazing makeup artists, Gabby, Cassia and Annalie, where they will be touring around to Auckland, Christchurch, Hamilton and New Plymouth. We hear all about what you can expect from that, and I'm so excited. I actually grabbed a ticket for the Christchurch one because I'm going to be down there at the time and I can't wait. As of recording, I believe all of them are sold out except Hamilton, I think, has a few more tickets, so definitely go and grab one if you are in the Waikato. Such a talented bunch, and hopefully I'll meet a few of you in Christchurch. I absolutely loved this chat with Kate. She gave so much great advice, and I know you're going to get a lot out of it too. So enjoy episode 105 with Kate. Hi, Kate. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. So excited to chat to you. You're an incredible makeup artist.
Thank you.
One of the best in NZ, I reckon. Really excited to pick your brains.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So nice to be on.
You've been married for a long time, a couple of kids.
I have been married for so long.
I wanted to just ask you at the start if you could reflect back on your day, if you could tell us a little bit about that and what you remember about that wedding planning season.
Honestly, do you know, I actually say to brides now, like, I would not want to be getting married now. This is probably like the one thing you do. I just
So
feel like
different.
look, I've been with my husband for like 18 years. Do you know what I mean? We were young when we got married, and like, I don't know, it's just so different now to what it was back then. Do you know what I mean? I reckon my flowers, I mean, look, we're going back many years, but like Steve's auntie did them. She was an amazing florist, and I reckon I paid like maybe $300 or $400. Like, my dress, like my cousin was a stylist, and we just got like, I reckon she was like a 70-year-old lady just to make it. And it was great. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was one of those things where, look, the weather was actually not that great. It was raining in some parts, but I mean, it didn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was still such a fun day, but I don't know. I feel like there wasn't the things that there is now. So it was kind of just a bit more stripped back, and I don't know, it was great. Do you know what I mean? I just didn't overthink anything. I had no stress leading up to it because I was like, well, as long as I had like a venue, and as long as I had, you know, like my husband showed up, you know, like it was fine, you know. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I guess it would have probably been different if you'd asked me if I got married like 5 years ago, but I definitely think there's been this massive shift, even in the last 5 years, you know, where it's like, very common to have a day before, or especially a day after now, and it's really common to like have 2 dresses, and you know, like there's so many things, which is great, you know, like it's relevant for now, but yeah, it was just so
much
different.
more
So different.
wedding content out there, and then just like bigger budget. I mean,
totally.
Times have changed, everything's more expensive.
100%.
But yeah,
I reckon
crazy.
I reckon my wedding, like, I'm just pulling figures right now, but I reckon it was like max 20 grand. You know, like it was just one of those things where it was like, back then everything was so much cheaper. I say back then, I sound like I'm so old, but like, you know, like I think that's just the difference as well. You know, like it was relevant for them. yeah, so it was great.
Oh, I
Yeah, it was
love
awesome.
that.
I always joke to my husband, I'm like, we need to do like a 20-year, like when it gets to 20 years, like renewal. But I'm also like, oh my gosh, the stress of doing it. I'm like, no,
Yeah, do I want
no,
to
I don't
plan
want
that?
to.
Cool. I'm excited to pick your brains about your business and makeup and everything. But yeah, if you could firstly kind of tell us a bit about your background, kind of your journey that's led you to where you are today, how you got into it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So, I've been doing makeup for 18 years, which is just wild to think. Like, I'm 36, so it's pretty much been like half of my life. Um, Before I did makeup, I actually did a year of beauty therapy, which kind of actually got me into makeup. When I got into it, like it was never the plan to be a makeup artist. I actually was like, I really liked the idea of beauty therapy, and then I actually did the beauty therapy course. So I was like, cool, this is not for me. And so, but there was an element of makeup in it. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just go on and study that. And I was very fortunate to have some incredible opportunities that opened some doors, like great doors. I worked for MAC Cosmetics for 10 years. And that, like, I owe so much of my career to that. Like, that season was like such, I don't know, it was such an incredible season of my life. I learned so much, especially skills. I reckon that helps me now to be like, even to interact with so many different people and stuff like that. Mac had this, was all about like all ages or races or sexes. And so like you just had to be able, you couldn't just be a makeup artist that fit in this bubble. We also, yeah, there was just so many opportunities anyway with Mac. It was great. And then I ended up my last few years there, I was in head office as a trainer. So I guess that's probably where my career that you guys would see probably now is comes from there. Is my job was to train artists, and that's sort of where my workshops, to be honest, came from, because I was like, I had been at Mac, I guess, for as long as I could be. And then I was like, okay, well, what's next for me? And I just found there was an area in the market where people wanted to learn how to do makeup, but they didn't want the pressure of buying products. And I think that's the thing I see. I saw it even this morning with a client, is people walk into store and they're so overwhelmed. So that's where my workshops came from. And I launched them with a girlfriend, and honestly, they just went mental. And I actually found out the same week I launched them that I was pregnant. So look, there was just a lot going on, but it was amazing. So yeah, I guess going into that, I've got 2 kids now. So Luca is 7 next week, which is just like
So
wild.
grown up.
And then Willow's 4. And so, yeah, and like I said, I've been with my husband for many years. And I guess my life and with my career now is just this balance of like being a mum, but also like I'm so fortunate to have a job that I just absolutely love. And I think when I went freelancing and did the workshops, I was like, okay, cool, this is my thing, but I still really liked the wedding side of it. And I think, yeah, I guess I was very fortunate to have some pretty cool weddings that came in, and I guess it's just sort of who you know, and then you kind of get to know people, and then just you get recommended, and that's kind of just always been it. So I'm really fortunate to have the job that I do, but it's definitely like I will admit, like I've had to work hard for it. It's not something that you just like do, but yeah, it's paid off. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, amazing. You're a busy woman, and I know you're such a hard worker. But yeah, so cool to hear more of that background. I think such valuable experience with Mac and just doing all different types of faces, not just kind of narrowing in from the get-go. And then yeah, your workshops are incredible. I've been to one and
Oh
learnt
my gosh, I
so
know.
much.
So nice to have you. The workshops were crazy, eh? Like I think I took a break after around COVID, and then probably I was still doing them occasionally, but not heaps. And then last probably May, I was like, okay, cool. Like if I'm being super transparent, I'm quite keen to cut back on weddings, just because my kids are getting older, and like it's one of those things
It's a hard
like
lifestyle for a
it's so
family,
hard,
like
eh?
weekends
Yeah,
in
and
summer. Yeah.
totally. And I was like, I want my husband, I kind of want to be able to see my kids. And my husband, now that Luke is at school, especially, like there was a big shift
You
when he
just get
started
those
school.
school holidays.
Totally. And those weekends. And so I relaunched them. And yeah, They, oh my gosh, I'm not complaining. It has just been so amazing. Like they have just gone off and been so much bigger than I ever thought, and I'm so grateful for that. I think in the last year, I think I've done close to 70 workshops. Like it's just crazy, but it's awesome. I love it so much, which is awesome.
Yeah, just like testament to you being good at what you do. And I think, yeah, creating that environment where you're not trying to like sell people products, you're just empowering them to use their own. And I mean, I definitely was influenced by some of your product recommendations, which are amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That's so good to
Yeah,
hear.
so good. On the wedding side of things, what is that kind of process like when someone books you for their wedding day? And do you recommend they have a trial? What does that kind of journey look like with you?
You need to book, like, especially look in weddings, and you would know this, you've definitely got your peak wedding season, okay? And so that I would say, like, is from probably November through to April. That is like your peak time, okay? And it's really hard. Like I found, especially over the last few years, people are booking everything so far in advance. Okay, like we're getting bookings currently for 2027. I'm like, I just don't even know what my life looks like in 2027. But that's just the reality, you know. Like if you want the vendor that you want, if you want the venue that you want, you actually just do need to book it, especially in that peak time. Now, I would say like February and March, especially, that is like peak, and I would say that books up like 18 months in advance, which is just crazy. So I would recommend inquiring straight away and booking in with whoever your vendor is. But for me personally, yeah, I open up about 18 months in advance, and you book in, pay the deposit, and to be honest, then we kind of just like that it's the booking's done, you know, and then I would personally like to do a trial closer to the time. I reckon maybe like 2 or 3 months out. Now, the reason I say that is just because in the past I've realized, you know, like people don't even know what their dress looks like. You know, you don't know what you want your hair, you don't know what anything's going to look like. And so I find if we do it closer to the time, then it's everything's super fresh, and then we can do the trial and you'll be really happy. I do find if we do a trial, some people do want to do a trial earlier on, and that's fine, but most of the time we end up doing another one just because it's more like things can change, you know. So I think to be straightforward, my thing is that you book in and then we do the trial closer to the time.
Yeah, it
And it
makes
tends to
sense.
work
It's
really
more
well.
like fresh
Yeah.
in your mind, and yeah, the whole look's kind of coming together. But yeah, so good for people to know about booking in advance. Some people don't realize that, but hair and makeup, I mean, you kind of think like you got to get your venue, maybe you're like food photographer, but hair and makeup books so quickly. And I often have brides like 6 months before or whatever been like, do you have any recommendations? I'm like, they're probably all booked now if it's like a Saturday in summer.
I
So
know.
get onto
It's
that early.
Oh, totally. I had a client recently, and she was like, I feel really intense booking you, but I really want you. And it was like 15 months out, and I was like, oh my gosh, that date, I felt so bad. I was like, that date was booked just like 4 months ago, you know, like because it was just in those, especially like I said, that February and March. Yeah. So I do think though, in saying that, there is a lot more weekday weddings now. And I get it, you know, like it's a lot of the time it's a little bit cheaper. You can get the vendors that you want. So
Yeah, that's a great tip for getting, yeah, everyone you want. Weekdays are much better.
absolutely. Yeah.
Can we chat a bit about pre-wedding makeup prep? There's skincare. Yeah, what do you recommend in that kind of lead up to the wedding? There's so many things we could go into here about like lifestyle,
Oh my gosh,
skin
there's so much we
treatments.
could
Yeah,
chat about
whatever
it.
you want to cover there.
Totally. Well, it's an interesting one. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty relaxed to be honest. And like I just like we were saying at the start, I feel like there is just so much information now when you get married, and you're just handed so many things where people are like, okay, you can do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And it's actually really overwhelming. And I do think quite often it can actually just lead to so much anxiety that you actually just don't need. Now, look, I would recommend from a prep point of view, I will always recommend going seeing a beauty therapist. I think, you know, like at the end of the day, skin is like the one thing that everyone wants to be amazing. And so if your skin is looking great, you're going to feel more confident on the day, blah, 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 blah. So I would always say, if you can, I'm very cautious of like how expensive everything is. But if you can and have the budget for it, I would recommend maybe 12 months out going and seeing a beauty therapist that you like. And like if you're in Auckland, I can recommend people that I go to, and I would just like start getting just regular treatments. You know, I've had so many brides who have done that, and I can genuinely say that I'm like, oh my gosh, your skin just has never looked better, you know. So that would probably be the thing. And there's always, you know, like drinking lots of water and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't overcomplicate it because I just don't think you need to. Do you know what I mean? But in saying that, what I will say is if you came to me like 3 or 4 months out from your wedding and was like, what can I do? I would be saying, don't do anything. Just leave it, because I know, going back to the beauty therapy side of me, is it takes a good few months for your skin to adjust to new skincare, like treatments, all of that. So if you turn around and go and do like a brand new like change your skincare or something, you're most likely going to break out. Okay, so it's better just to completely leave it. But yeah, if you say you had like 12 months, that would be what I would say, is just go get regular treatments. But I know, I kind of think it's also more stuff I would do, maybe do a couple of days out, you know, like I know there's some people who will send out like massive sheets with like all the do's and don'ts, and that's totally fine. If that's what you want to do and that makes you feel comfortable, then absolutely. But for me personally, if you book with me, just that's the advice you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like people can ask for the advice, but sometimes it's like overwhelming. Like you say, there's so much
it's
being thrown at you, and
just so many
just like
things.
drink water,
A
eat
hundred
healthy,
percent.
maybe. Like don't start
Wear
using some
sunblock.
crazy active. Yeah.
Oh man, that is the biggest thing. And like, yeah, we can go into that, but like, I know that's like another whole topic, but like closer to the day, going back to what I was saying, is that is not the time to go like a few days out from your wedding. I will say this to anyone who's listening, any brides, do not go and get a lash lift. If you are wanting like individual lashes put on, like there are some things I would say, like, please don't do that, because most of the time as a makeup artist, it's really hard to put lashes on. I would say a couple of days out from your wedding, if you're going to get your brows done, try to do that like a week in advance. You know what I mean? You want to give time for the skin to settle. You know, that one thing you could do in the lead up, I mean, this isn't something that's going to be like long term, but I would like trial a spray tan, you know, like trial things like that, so that on the day close to the time, you're really happy with what you have got. And once again, like, I've got people I recommend as well.
Yeah, great tips in there, and I'm sure you've seen it all. People
I
that have
have seen
tried
it
everything,
all.
that have got sunburn, a
Yeah,
lot of
oh
problem
man.
solving. But
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, 100%. 100% you see it all.
what advice would you give to a bride that doesn't usually wear a lot of makeup, still wants to feel glam on their wedding day, but yeah, doesn't kind of know about that?
I would say your wedding day is just not the day to do something completely different, okay? Like, there are so many elements on a wedding day that is so out of the normal. You know, you've got your hair done, you've got your spray tan, you've probably got your lashes, you've got like, you're in a white dress. There's so many things that if you're someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, all of those things alone are going to make you feel, to be honest, not really like you in a way. So I have so many brides that actually come to me and they're like, these are my inspo photos. This is what I love. And I'm like, okay, great. Do you wear much makeup? And they're like, no, I don't really wear anything. I'm like, okay, cool. So what is it about those images that you like? And then we kind of pick it apart, and it's like, okay, well, is it because you like your skin to look like that? Or is it you like the colors on the eyes? You know, I think it's kind of trying to find that out, because like I said, if you don't wear much makeup, it is not the day to be doing a smoky eye at all, you know. And I think there's been a real trend lately as well, where like a lot more like pulled back, and like just like really fresh, beautiful makeup is on trend, and it really doesn't date as well. So for me, I always find people feel the best when their skin is good. So I would just say, just focus on great skin, just like things that will enhance your natural features. You can still feel glam while being natural.
Yeah, sometimes it is a bit of that education piece, I guess, because a lot of people are like, oh no, I just want natural. But it's like, what does that natural
Oh,
mean? Or do you
for
mean kind of
sure.
soft glam? Or,
Yeah,
yeah, I think I talked
yeah.
about this with Gabby as well, and just figuring out, yeah, whether they are just completely like never ever wear makeup, or they dabble a little bit, or they're like really expert, know all the products and ingredients and know what they want.
You definitely have got those different people. And I would say, if you're someone who doesn't wear a lot of makeup and you've got that, say, like 12 months up from 12 months leading up to your wedding, I would say if there's an excuse or an occasion that you've got coming up where you could have your makeup done, I would highly recommend trying to book in with your makeup artist. not look, you can go to any other makeup artist, but it would make the most sense to go to the artist if you can that is doing your makeup, because then you kind of get used to each other as well. She'll like the makeup artist will figure out exactly what you like, and because like you were saying, what you would say is a smoky eye is different to what I would say is a smoky eye. So I think if you've got those occasions to get used to it, then I feel like leading up to the day as well, you're going to be like, okay, I really liked what I did here. I didn't like so much that there. That would probably be the thing I would recommend. Then just going one time, getting your makeup done, and then being like, okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the trial comes in as well, I guess. But yeah, I think may as well if you're going to get your makeup done for your engagement party or your hens or whatever. Like,
Totally
yeah,
use those. Yeah,
absolutely.
a work event or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
so good.
Yeah.
And on the day itself, do you have any kind of tips for making sure the makeup stays fresh and flawless kind of throughout the whole day, the emotions and the celebrations?
Oh man, it's crazy. Like I have worked, I reckon, in every like climate. You know what I mean? Um, I definitely find, like for me personally, a foundation that's going to last long. Do you know what I mean? And that wouldn't necessarily be the foundation that I would recommend for like um your everyday. Do you know what I mean? But that would be like I would definitely recommend something that's going to be super long wearing. I personally use a lot of the time, and it's not something I would recommend to my clients on the daily, but like Estee Lauder Double Wear, for example, that foundation now, if you search it, it is probably known as like a full coverage matte foundation, right? But if you see my work, it is not full coverage in matte, and it's because I will skin prep with it, but then I'll still use it because I know that if I put it on a client, I genuinely do not need to worry. Like I know their makeup is going to last. So I do find, especially like if there's occasions where I know someone is going to be quite emotional, you know what I mean, or it's going to be really hot, then I will find that I go lean towards that, even mixing it with another foundation just to for it to last. There is also a setting spray. It's a L'Oreal one. Oh, it's red with a black, but I can't remember it. If you
Yeah,
Google it,
I've
it will come
seen
up.
that. I feel like on TikTok or something.
Okay, so honestly, because I'm not big on setting sprays. Okay, like to be honest, I feel like they're just like, oh, people want them. It makes them feel like it's going to stay, but I don't actually think a lot of the time they actually work. But this one, let me tell you, it works. Now I hate to think what's in it, but do you know what I mean? For one day, like you can spray that on your face and yeah, it will last. So there is things like that, do you know, with products and stuff like that. Also, I guess it's kind of just you as a makeup artist, I guess it's your judgment, you need to see like there are some products that you can and can't use, but I don't know, like I don't use primers, for example, like, and so there is just I will more prep the skin with other products and stuff like that.
So interesting. Yeah, some of those things I think we need, but maybe it's just like marketing.
Yeah, and there is. Do you know, like if someone came to me and they were like, "Hey, I've genuinely got really oily skin, and I can actually see without them having products that, and some people naturally just do get a little bit more sweaty than other people." Then there's definitely products out there. Okay, well, we need to go really mattifying, so I would put something down as well. But I don't know. Like I think when it comes to like emotions or tears and things like that, I do find that once the makeup is set, what I find is that you can normally just get like your finger or like a soft brush and kind of just blend it through, because I've had a couple moments where I'd have a streak, and so that's when I just softly blur it and it should just work in really well together. There is products like powders. I would always recommend people having a powder to touch up with throughout the day, and lipstick. Those are like the two things you do need, just to keep it looking fresh.
Oh, so
So
good. Some great tips
yeah.
there. Have you noticed any kind of trends with wedding makeup lately or things you think we'll be seeing more of coming up?
Yeah, I definitely do think that, like I was saying, just the like pulled back, really beautiful, clean skin makeup is really on trend. Even blush, like blush is definitely having a comeback. A lot of people are really loving. There's still that bronzy look, but then they're liking that high flush of color. I would say with the eyes, though, like a lot more matte. That would be definitely something I've seen recently, and just more of like that smudged out liner on the eyelid. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like this full contour. But it's hard. I don't know. It is one of those things as well. I think in New Zealand we've got like a handful of makeup artists. Like we've got so many incredible makeup artists, but we're all quite different, and so people do book you for your style. So I would say a lot of the time, like my style probably hasn't changed heaps over the years. Like, yes, it definitely tweaks here and there, but I do find when people book me, they will book me for my style. And so quite often I'll be like, okay, what do you want? And they're like, just what you normally do. So I would say in that sense, do you know what I mean? With trends, it's still all about the
Yeah.
skin. But yeah, more blush, light eyes, really
Yeah,
the thing.
love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of advice for people who are looking for their makeup artist, trying to decide who's right for them? Yeah, any tips for that?
Yeah, I would say, like definitely, I mean, look, social media, Instagram's amazing. Do you know what I mean? Go and I think it's great to see the work that people post, but what I would actually do is actually go into what they're tagged in, because then you can also see like a real variety of what, like I know for me personally, like I'm shocking on posting stuff. And so if you want to see more of my work, then I would go in to see what I've been tagged in. Do you know what I mean? Because then you can just see. But I think for me personally, I would say just go on to find an artist that you really like their looks. Make sure they've got a really variety of like clients that they've got, and yeah, I would just say book them. Do you know what I mean? That's the big thing. Like if I was going to book someone, I would book someone who I genuinely love their work. So go into that. And if they're not available, then they should be able to recommend people who are similar. Like I've got a handful of artists that I would recommend if I'm not available.
Such good advice. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about your workshops, and then also you combining forces with some other amazing makeup artists coming up for your master's workshop? Love to hear a bit more about that.
Yeah, so my workshops, yeah, they are something that, like I said, I've been doing for about 7 years, but really focusing on them now. So they normally go for about 2 hours. I would roughly say now, look, you've got two options. You can either come to a public one, which is based at my house in Auckland, and I normally do those. Honestly, it does vary. Like if it's wedding season, not really. It doesn't really happen. But if it's over winter, I will try fit them in where I can. And lots of the time they're in the evening or like on a Saturday. But I quite often I find there's a bunch of girls who, or like guys who want to learn makeup, and they have a bunch of friends who do. I want to do a group. So for example, I've got one tonight, and there's 7 girls who I'm going out to their house, and I am doing a class there. So if you just need a bunch, like either 4 or more people, and then I can come to you. And that's quite fun because it's in your own environment. You do all your own food and drinks, and I just show up with everything. The only thing I would recommend for my workshops is I would say bring your own mascara and bring your own foundation. Now, majority of the time, for the foundation, I need to color match you and give you a new one, and that's absolutely fine. But it's just more if you've got like 8 people that you're color matching. If even 3 of them are wearing the right foundation, that would be ideal from a time point of view. But yeah, and I pretty much will go over everything when it comes to my workshop. So from skin prep to foundation, concealer, bronzer, blusher, highlight. I would say it's more like a everyday class is my main one that I would do. But for some people, my everyday might be like evening. So it's not saying this is the only way to do makeup, but hopefully by the end of it, people will have elements that they like to pull, and yeah, it's been really great so far. So that's my workshops. Great, 150 per person, really fun. Masterclasses. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for them. So this has been something that Gabby. So I'm doing with Gabby, which is so exciting. And I'm also doing with Cassia and Annalie. And so fun fact is Cassia and Gabby, I actually trained them at MAC.
Oh, amazing.
So it's like this whole reunion. It's so
Yeah.
fun. And Annalise just a makeup artist. Like all of them are just artists that I just absolutely love. And I think we've all got our own talent, but also work really well together. So the 4 of us actually went to Sydney together for Giorgiomani last year. And it kind of was like, yeah, the workshops were birthed out of that, where we were like, man, we should like combine and do a masterclass. And so we thought, let's do them in our like hometown. So I'm doing Auckland, Gabby's obviously Hamilton, Annalie New Plymouth, and then Cassia in Christchurch. And it's going to go for about 3 hours. Now, it's different from my workshops in the sense of my workshops are hands-on. This is a look and learn. Okay, so there's going to be no practical element, but I think that's going to be something that some people will like, is not the practical and they can just sit and enjoy and watch. And we will be doing 2 looks with 4 of us, okay? So say, for example, me and Gabs might work on someone, and then Emily and Cassia, we actually haven't worked out those details, but and we will kind of showcase, you know, like we'll teach you everything from like how to cover acne, prepping skin, you know what I mean? We'll also have a variety of models, as that's really important for us as well. So we will have some more mature, or maybe even like lots of different dark skin tones, you know, like we just want to make sure that we can like everyone can relate to it as well. That's really important for us. And it's more just about your everyday makeup. There's going to be some epic goodie bags. Can't say too much, but it's worth coming just for the goodie bag. And there'll be nibbles and drinks and everything like that. But it's crazy. Like Auckland, I think we only have like 2 tickets left. But I actually just emailed the studio that I'm doing it in. I'm like, how many more can we squeeze? So fingers crossed we can do some more. But yeah, it was one of those things, like I said, we've been working on it for so long. And so when we did eventually launch it, like the website crashed.
Yeah, crazy.
We were like, it was wild. So no, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
So exciting. So that's, anyone can come along. You don't have to be like good
anyone
at makeup
can
or
come.
anything. Yeah.
No. Honestly, you could have like no knowledge, or you could be a pro makeup artist and just want to come. You know, like I love watching other makeup artists and learning off them. So, you know, like it's definitely something that it's like anybody can come, and we would hope that it is catered to absolutely everyone. Yeah, it'll be really fun. Really, really cool.
So exciting. I love, following all of you and your work, and you're just so incredible at what you do. So cool to combine.
Oh, thank you. It's going to be
Yeah.
really fun. Like, we're really looking forward to it. And, like, hopefully, if these work really well, then, you know, we've got people being like, why are you not coming to the city? And why are you not going there? And we're like, okay, let's just do the
You
4.
might be touring.
Yeah, totally. Watch the space.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting.
Oh,
Yeah,
so good.
so that'll be cool.
I'm so gutted I'm actually overseas for the Auckland and the Hamilton
Oh,
ones. Otherwise,
hey, just
I
come
would
to Christchurch, huh? No.
I know. I'm like, I've got friends in Christchurch. Maybe I need to plan a
Oh,
visit or road trip to
honestly,
New
it'll be
Plymouth. Yeah.
absolutely. Do you know what? I've actually never been to New Plymouth, and
Neither
so
have
I'm really
I.
no,
I've been like
and
all
so
over the
Emily's selling
country,
the
but
dream.
that's the
Yeah.
one spot. Yeah. So
No,
I have
so
to
I
do
am
it.
so excited. Yes, absolutely. So no, it'll be amazing. It'll be really cool. And like I said, they're all such great artists with so much knowledge. So I really do think like it's 220 a ticket, but it's honestly like that's the thing. We purposely made it a price point that people can like afford, but also we do feel like it's such good value for money because you're getting 4 of us.
Yeah.
You know,
All
so that's
4 of
really
you.
exciting.
Amazing goodie bag. Yeah.
It'll be fun. Drinks, food. And that's the thing, we don't want people to miss out, you know, so there is so many different options as well. So definitely, if you do want to go, I will just say like I just was messaging the girls before and I'm like, okay, where are we at with tickets? And I was like, oh wow, okay, we actually don't have many left in each location. So if you're keen to go, definitely book in soon to miss
Just
out.
plan my little
Yeah.
trip. And I don't know when
Yes.
this comes out. I'll update it on the stories and stuff if there's any left. But I think you're going to be in high demand for another round of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will be amazing. Yeah, it'll be so cool. It'll be so awesome. Can't wait. Yeah.
Amazing. Do you have any other advice, kind of just from a makeup artist perspective, for people planning their wedding at the moment, whether that's about makeup or any other aspect?
I guess this probably isn't makeup advice as such, but the one thing I would say is that, like, it is your wedding day and it is the best day, but it is just one day. Do you know what I mean? And I just think, I don't know, like I said, I've seen it all and I'm so fortunate, but just like on the day of your wedding, and I'm sure you people will hear this all the time, but I really mean it, is just like whatever happens, happens. As long as you marry your partner, that's like the most important thing. And if for some reason in the decorations or the decor, it's not exactly how you want it, or if something else happens, like just don't stress about it. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't change it. And the day goes so fast. And it's really interesting. I think I probably get people in my chair maybe like 2 or so hours before they need to be like ready. And I always get the nervous people because it's just
Yeah.
like, everyone's all fine. It's a really chilled morning. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they sit with me and they're like, I'm starting to
Mm.
feel a bit nervous. I'm like, yeah, that's like really
Oh,
normal. So
lucky
just
you're such a
know,
calming
oh,
presence.
it's so one of those things where you're just like, it's such an exciting day, and it's super normal to feel nervous. The other thing I would say is actually, once you are married, that part especially goes so fast, and there's so many people that you're trying to see, and there's just so much going on that I would say just take maybe like 5 or 10 minutes with just you and your partner, just like get away and just have a moment. Do you know what I mean? Because I think, like I said, the day is about you two, but in a way, it's kind of not really, in the sense of like, there's so many other like elements going on. So I reckon just if you can have that moment, I definitely would recommend just doing that. And then the other thing is just like choose your vendors and like your people who you really like relate well to, because do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like your hairdresser and your photographer and your makeup artist, they are people who you are going to be with for a lot of the day. So make sure that if you need to jump on and have a Skype with them or a Zoom chat with them, or if you want to meet for coffee or do a trial, like do that. Do you know what I mean? Because they are people who are in your like they are your energy on the day, and I think it's really important the energy that they bring. And I'm really aware of that on someone's wedding day, that what I bring to the room, because it's kind of like in a way we sort of set it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm also just very aware that I'm there, but I don't want to be like the personality in the room, but I also want to be that calming presence, so because there are so many emotions. So I would just say your vendors, especially those ones. And I would also say, like, going off the bat with like hair and makeup and photography, that is going to be like when you look back in photos, your hairdresser, your makeup artist, and obviously your photographer that is going to be what you're going to see for the next however many years. So invest in that. Like seriously invest in that, because do you know what I mean? You could spend all of this time spending money on like your hair or your makeup, your skin throughout the year. And then if you don't invest in the right people, I would say for that, you may not be happy. And that is what you are going to be looking back on for many years to come. So that would be my thing. You know what I mean? Choose what you invest in. There is a lot of things that people invest in that I don't think you need to.
Yeah, so important. Just have to choose those priorities. And yeah, that is one that you're
100%.
going to, yeah, it's kind of going to make or break your memories
Yeah,
looking back on them.
totally.
And yeah, so important what you said about just doing that bit of a vibe check. And yeah, especially like hair and makeup, you're, up close and personal. You're kind of in that peak time when they're just about to like
Totally.
go to the ceremony or whatever. So having that calming presence,
It's so
that
important.
energy in the morning, so important.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, eh? Like we could be with you from the moment that you wake up until the moment that you leave to go get married, so you just want to make sure you've got the right people around you. Yeah, and like I said, we're so lucky in New Zealand. We've got so many incredible hair and makeup artists, so there's definitely lots of options.
Oh, so good. Do you have any kind of career highlight weddings that you look back on? I know you've just been over in Europe, which is amazing for a few weddings, but yeah, any cool ones you want to tell us about?
I don't know. I
It's a
feel
hard
like I've
question.
just got so many. Like, I'll be really honest. There's genuinely not one that I was like, oh my gosh, this one was just like absolutely amazing. Like, I think I have just had some incredible opportunities. Like for me, you could have an amazing one overseas in Italy, and it was great. But then it could be just as amazing as one, like at Mudbrook, and I know that sounds really ridiculous, but to be honest, like it's like the venue are amazing, but it's also very much about the vibe and everything on the day. Do you know what I mean? Like I would genuinely say that I just feel like I get the best brides. Like I don't know, I just feel like I'm so lucky in the sense that like I've got so many weddings even for this coming season, and I'm not really traveling overseas much. Like coming up, I've got one overseas for the rest of the year, but I'm so excited for all of my weddings. Like I really do. But okay, if I had to say like one standout, gosh, it is so hard. I actually don't think there's like one that's it. I would say, okay, top three, let's say top three. The one that I just did in Spain, that was really cool. And I always knew that was going to be great just because one, like I have never done this area in Spain before. And like the bride was just so divine. Like it was one of those things where I left and I was like, okay, how can we just be best friends? Like you are so great. And I knew that was going to be an amazing wedding, and I can't wait to share more about that. And it was just such a fun morning. The energy was great. I was also working with Missy Barnes, so Sherry, and she was great. And so it was just like the whole experience was crazy. Like I was having to learn how to drive on the other side of the road, which is just like an experience on its own. But there was just so many things. Like it was a beautiful venue, and it was amazing. So that was definitely like a bucket list one. And then I had a dear client of mine who I have been worked with for many years, and I did her wedding last year overseas in Fiji, and that one will always just be so special to me, just because she is like just such a special friend and client, and that was just so. It was a real honor to be a part of that. Do you know what I mean? And it was just one of those. Yeah, I felt it was really cool. I worked with a lot of New Zealand vendors, and I just don't think something like that would happen again. And that was just a really incredible time. So that one. And then, oh, okay. And then probably like my Italy one that I just did actually was really special just because it was my best friend's little sister. And, like it was just kind of like a little sister getting married. And that was like, yeah, that was amazing in the sense of like I was working with Robin Monroe, which was really cool, and then Ash from Sapphire. So it was like our little like New Zealand crew, but it was kind of like, and we had all just worked together like a couple of months ago, literally on Waiheke. But like I said, that was just once again, like it was, I was actually have worked at that venue before, done a wedding 6 years ago. So it was really cool to be back. But I think that was just one of those ones where I had this moment where even I had to step back and just take it all in and be like, wow, okay, like this is someone I've literally seen grow up since she was just like 11. And now she's getting married to like this incredible guy. And right now we're in Tuscany. And like, how is this my job? Like that was really amazing. But I don't know. It's hard because I know all of those are overseas. So they're probably more like when I say top three, I'd probably say they're more bucket list ones. Do you know what I mean? Where like there's so many ones in New Zealand where I'm just like, I've left there and I was like, oh, I love my job. Like it's so, yeah, so it's hard. I could go on and on about them, but yeah, I feel like it's very rare that I would have a wedding where I was like, oh, that was a bit hard, yeah.
No, I think you're at that point in your career where you're just attracting the right clients, people that click with you, and
Yeah,
just,
it's cool.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
So
it's really exciting, and like, yeah, I'm excited for this next season. I'm definitely doing less weddings, which is like, yeah, exciting at the same time because I can just put all my energy into. I'm probably actually only doing half of what I need to do this coming season, which will be exciting. But I'm actually, fun fact, I'm actually starting a team, which is really cool. So,
amazing.
you've heard it here first. So that's really exciting. So if you are after a makeup artist, I'm not available. I'm really excited to have some incredible artists who will be working alongside me. So watch this space.
Amazing. Yeah, such a
Very excited for
aligned
that.
move for you. Makes a lot of sense. And then, yeah, even with
Yeah,
your
yeah,
background in training other artists, like, yeah, so cool.
yeah. I'm really excited for that. So that'll be cool. So that'll be happening next season. So that's exciting. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
So good. So many exciting things coming up. And yeah, I know it is such a balance, especially when you have like a young family and business, and yeah, the hours are sometimes crazy. But yeah, so cool to just like see everything you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. No, it's exciting. I know it's the right move, and
Mm.
yeah, I'm definitely not stopping weddings by all means, but I don't think I can carry on doing 60 plus a season, with I've got young kids. Yeah, I've done my time doing that. So yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Amazing. It's been so lovely to have you on. Is
Thanks
there
so much for the
anything we
chat.
missed or you want to add as we wrap
I
up?
feel like we have chatted about everything. Is there
Yeah.
anything I haven't spoken
I don't
about?
know. We could probably talk forever about weddings, but
I know.
yeah.
I know.
Any
Nah,
hot product
I'm so excited.
recommendations you have at the moment? You
Oh,
always get
okay.
asked
Yeah,
this,
no, do you know
probably.
what? Okay, I always do, but I've literally got my kit sitting right beside me. What are some hot products that are really great? Do you know what? If you're talking about products, okay, top few products that you want your makeup to really last, eyeshadow bases. These here are the Giorgio Armani eyeshadow bases. Nothing holds as good as these. Just get them from Sephora. My favorite colors, I would say, is like 20M and like 18M. They are great. Another key favorite, I'm just looking around that I absolutely love, key products. I'm actually really loving the Dior Face and Body Foundation. That is great. And then, I mean, you would have heard me talk about it in my workshops, but like, oh, it's right here. This Genifique serum by Lancome is like my holy grail. If someone said to me I could only buy one product, what would it be? It would be this, which is just crazy because it's a skincare product. But if you had your makeup done by me, I would have used this on you, and I just can't do makeup without it. It's the best. So if you take anything from this, go try that serum because it's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's
Love
great.
that.
It's awesome.
I went and bought the Armani Luminous
Oh,
Silk after your
yes,
workshop as well. Was
great. Do
definitely
you love it?
influenced from that.
Oh, it's so
Yes.
good. It's so
Yeah.
good, eh? You should mix it with that serum. It's so nice together. Like, it's so nice when you want to share it down. Yeah, it's a great product. Luminous Silk is awesome because you can just wear it, like I said, share, or you can build it up. So it's a great versatile foundation.
So
Yeah,
good.
it's
Such a
awesome.
fun world to be a part of, I feel like. All these,
Oh my
amazing
gosh.
products and things, which can be overwhelming, but like, fun too.
Oh, totally. And that's why people need to come to our masterclass so then we can like chat about all these
Yeah,
products.
I'm sure you're going to be
Yeah,
giving lots of
absolutely.
recce's there as well.
Absolutely. So that's really cool. Yeah.
You just tell everyone where they can find you online on socials and follow.
Oh, yeah, totally. So if you're on Instagram, just Kate Solley Makeup. Look, I've got TikTok, but like I don't post on it. I'm just being really honest. Like I don't. But so probably just on Instagram is probably the best place to find me for socials. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so cool. We'll link
Yeah.
everything in the show
Thank
notes
you
as
so
well.
much. And thank you for having me. So nice to chat.